With the holidays just around the corner, how are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? Are you feeling depressed? Are you feeling lonely? Do you have family to go to? Do you have family that comes to you? Do you have um, like an elderly neighbor that is alone that maybe you can invite over so she doesn't have to be alone, or he? Or do you have like a plate of food that you could take to them so they don't feel so lonely? There are a lot of different ways that depression can be addressed during the holidays. I mean, besides during the whole entire year, holidays are especially hard for people, and depression is really high during the holiday seasons. Besides being alone, or family or family issues even can bring you down. um, Seeing that old cousin that you haven't, not old as an age, but that cousin you haven't seen in 5 years, and now they're a doctor and you're not. So that kind of depresses you that they've come a long way farther than you, and the whole family, you know, oohs and ahs over, Jimmy, who's a doctor now, and you're just, working somewhere flipping burgers. But somebody's got to flip my burgers. Um, I'm just saying that the holidays are, can be really difficult for so many reasons. Besides, maybe somebody passed away, like for my case, where my 8-year-old son passed away 6 days before Christmas. That tends to drive me away from wanting to celebrate Christmas or any holiday for that fact, because it just means the family gathers together when I rather be solitary. Solitary? Yeah, it's fine. If anybody wants to judge my grammar, go ahead. It doesn't bother me. Um, so, it's mostly, I didn't do any research. I'm just guessing by my experience that it's mostly the elderly because they've lost a lot of friends, and they're elderly, so they just maybe don't feel, you know, like they belong, because maybe they can't talk about the current things that are going on in the world, or for whatever reason they feel out of place. Maybe they're in a nursing home, and the family has to come and visit them at the nursing home, and they don't get to get out of the nursing home. They're stuck there. That would depress me for sure. And I've seen it with my grandmothers and my great grandmother and my father. So, yeah, it's not really a happy place to be, and it's quite depressing. So, if you do have a relative or somebody in a nursing home, um, it really wouldn't take much to go visit them. It doesn't have to be for hours on end, even though they like it to be. It doesn't have to be. An hour, hour and a half, 2 hours tops, maybe, just to go visit them. That would mean the world to them, more than you know. And a lot of people, their loved ones get put in a nursing home and then kind of forgotten about. They go on with their lives and forget about them, because out of sight, out of mind. And this elderly person is in a nursing home, maybe wondering, is my family going to come and visit me? If I had an elderly relative in a nursing home, I most certainly would go visit. My dad wasn't even elderly. Not, well, I don't think 70 is elderly. Um, but He was in a nursing home for many months before he passed away, and I was 45 minutes away, and I would take my kids to school and I'd go visit my dad every day because otherwise he would be sad. He would be lonely. He'd miss me because I was the baby of the family. And, so I would visit him. He'd be cranky. I would threaten him. I'd say, if you're going to treat me like shit, I'm leaving. And there's times that he would be a crab and I would leave and I would just go into another room for a while. Because, like I said, it was a 45-minute drive. So I would kind of disappear for a while. And then I would go back to seeing him again. So it wasn't a trip wasted. I'd still get to see him, and he'd be in a totally different mood. And if he wasn't, then I would leave for real. I wouldn't put up with his shit because it's just, he was, to me, he was ungrateful, but in reality, he had mental illnesses, and that's what this channel is all about. I learned a lot from him having mental illnesses. He had more than what we all knew because of the VA. They lacked properly diagnosing him. Um, yeah, they dropped the ball. Shocking, I know. He would go once a year and they would say, okay, you're good. And they'd refill his pills for the year. And then that would be it. They'd say, okay, you're good. Let him go. There was so much wrong with him. It's not even funny. And I get a lot of it from him. And again, it's not even funny. So, no, I just wanted to, I guess, address the holidays and how they affect a lot of people. They affect me, for certain reasons. They affect other people for certain reasons. A lot of people have different reasons for holidays to affect them. And a lot of times the elderly get forgotten about because of the new baby in the family, because their family is just too busy that they kind of forget about them, and it's not fair. You have to remember, even if like I said, even if your next door neighbor lady or man, they're elderly and you never see relatives show up. You'll see visiting nurse every now and then, but you never see relatives. Then maybe go over there and knock on the door and say, how you doing, and kind of talk to them. And either, I'm not saying you have to, but I used to do home health care, and that was taking care of the elderly, and you'd be surprised how they felt with surprises like that. They are so grateful, most of them, and it doesn't hurt anything. Um, it should make you feel good to do something like that for somebody, even if it's just to go and check on them and see how they're doing, and things like that. How come when I get behind here I get so sleepy? It's so dumb. I don't get it. But no, just the elderly, it seems to me, again, this is just my opinion, I didn't do any research, they suffer the most during the holidays because 9 times out of 10 okay, maybe 8, um, they don't have a spouse left, or they never had a spouse, or their kids live in a different city, town, state, country. They just are kind of forgotten about, and it breaks my heart. Um, so, think about adopting an elderly person. It would mean the world to them. I mean, even if you have your whole family over and get a plate and put food on it and go by yourself and take it over. You don't have to take the whole clan over, but just try to think of somebody if you know. And it's not a guilt trip, but just think about how they're feeling. Sitting at home, probably watching a Lawrence Welk. Sorry of those of you who knows who that is. Unfortunately, I do. It's called Too Many Holidays at Great Grandma's House. But you know what I'm saying, that try to give. The holidays are not supposed to be for taking, they're supposed to be for giving. I'm not talking about forgiving that asshole down the road that hit your cat. I'm talking about forgiving and being generous and being kind and thinking of somebody other than yourself. And and like I said, I'm not trying to put you on a guilt trip. I'm just trying to get you to realize that there are people out there that really could use a friendly face, and somebody just to visit with. Um, we're not from here, so I don't know of any place. I'm sure we could find some place, but excuse me. I mean, our neighbor, our first year here, she invited us over for Thanksgiving, and we had only been here a month and a half, and she invited us to Thanksgiving, and we passed her up, and she shows up with 2 plates of food. It's like, oh wow. And then Christmas came and went, and then Easter, she invited us over for Easter, and we went over, and we had a really good time. And now Thanksgiving is here again, and I've chatted with her, and I'm not saying I expect her to invite us over, but now that she knows us better, she may, but we don't expect her to. But if we knew somebody who would benefit from us having them, because I don't go anywhere, I don't like to go anywhere I don't know. Um, I have agoraphobia, so I don't like to go. So if I do go by her, I Xanax up, so I can deal with people I don't know. And you gotta do what you gotta do. And a lot of people, if you decline their information, tired, decline their invitation, they're offended by it. So I like to at least go and stay for a while. I can't stay for real long if I do go because I get very anxious. So, no, I was just, wanting you to think about the holidays and how they affect different people in different ways. Um, I wish there was a secret Santa because I could use a couple. No, we bought a treadmill today, and it goes up to 10 miles per hour. It's suicidal. I accidentally, well, I put it on a setting for calories or something, and all of a sudden it jumped to 10. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And I go flying, and I quick nailed stop. And I'm just like, Jesus, what is this thing trying to do to me? So I don't pre-program it because I don't know what everything means. It says calories and time and all this, but yeah, after I'm done here, because I we went to the store the other day. I love avocados and I don't think they're ready yet, but I have sweet potatoes and I thought I needed some and I already had four and I bought four more and I always put butter and salt on. That's the way I like them. But I'm going to look up a recipe. David doesn't eat them, so he can fend for himself. Um, I can't remember. He said he was going to have something. I said, yeah, something really easy. But that's his prerogative. And I'm going to look up something that I'll use my pressure cooker and I'll cook some up and see what kind of recipe I can find other than salt and butter. But it's so delicious that way. Avocados and sweet potatoes are new to me. Just something I started eating and I enjoy immensely. So I'm going to try to go and find a recipe that I can make that's easy. But if it's in the pressure cooker, it'll be easy. But yeah, I made homemade guacamole, which is fantastic. Tomorrow is our 8-year anniversary together. So I told him he had to buy me a treadmill so I don't get fat. Because I'm super self conscious and I don't want to get fat. And I'm already fat. I'm like 15 pounds over what I'm supposed to be. And yeah, it's 130 pounds and I want to be back to 115 because I can't get in my damn pants. So I hardly ever wear jeans. It's like once every 3 months, but I'd still like to get in them. So, no, I just wanted to pop in. So, have yourself a fantastic weekend and talk to you soon.